Congratulations on passing your real estate exams and becoming an officially licensed real estate agent. Now you can delete everything of what you know because you're gonna have to start from ground zero, because what they taught you to become a real estate agent has nothing to do with what you actually need to know to get clients and make money. I'm Ali Garced. I work with Exp Realty and I make these videos to help you in your business. Whether or not you end up partnering with me at Exp, I hope that these videos on this channel help, so subscribe. And if you want more of this stuff, stick to the end. First things first is, if you already have your license, then chances are you already know that you want to be a real estate agent. Maybe you don't know for how long. Maybe you're running away from a W-2 job, which is exactly what I did. I did not like my W-2 job, so I became a real estate agent. I went from being a special agent to a real estate agent. Doesn't matter. This video is not about me. It's about you. So whatever reason you became a real estate agent for, I hope that that why is strong enough, because you're gonna have some down days. Now, in other videos that you may watch, it's gonna be all like fluffy and fun and lead gen and we're a family and culture and like all this stuff. Guys, being a real estate agent is hard. We're in the people business. In case you didn't know already, this life is not about looking at pretty homes and wearing high heels. It's about how many people can you talk to every single day that know, like, and trust you, that are ready, willing, and able. That is the formula. The 6-part formula where every single part needs to be checked in order for you to make money. And if any single part of that formula is not there, you will not make money. But before we start talking about money, let me back it up a little bit. If you don't have your license, Google a real estate school, attend the real estate school, study for the test, because the tests are actually hard, believe it or not. They actually are pretty hard. So once you pass them, that is when you can apply to get your license. Boom, now you've caught up with the rest of us. Now that you're a licensed agent, you're deciding on which brokerage to join. I have 2 other videos at least on this channel that go exactly step by step all the questions that you should be asking a real estate brokerage. A common question at this point is, do I have to join a brokerage? Can I just be my own broker? I can't speak for all 50 states, but the answer is majority gonna be no, you cannot. You have to join and hang your license with an agency that is more established. In many states, you are like an associate broker or just like a real estate agent, but you have to be an agent for at least a couple of years before you can then become a broker. I'm using broker and associate agent and agent, like all this stuff, because each state has different definitions. For example, North Carolina has provisional brokers. Arizona doesn't have provisional brokers. Every state is so different. But pretty much when you first get licensed, you have to be a part of someone else's agency. Now that term, I mean agency for real, because you don't have to be part of a team. When you're on a team, you're paying a lot of money toward the team leader, toward the broker owner, toward all of the expenses that come with the team. There are pros and cons to team. Nothing wrong with teams. If you need the hand-holding, if you need to be bird-fed leads, this sounds so bad, but I mean it, like if you need the hand-holding, then join a team for as long as reasonable until you feel comfortable saying, thank you for everything you've taught me. I want to fly away now and go on my own. For those that do not need it, and this is where I come in, because I actually give you the entire bundle, all of the checklists that you need once you start finding clients, and I help you how to find clients. I don't give you clients. I help you learn how to find clients on your own, because after all, you are now a business owner. You're in charge of finding your own clients. No longer can you point to your boss and say,
you, I should be making more, blah, blah.
You own your own business now. Welcome to self-accountability. So at this point, now that you know that you have to hang your license, most likely, of course, there may be an exception. There may be some weird state where you can just start your own brokerage right away. I doubt it, but maybe, never know. Majority of the people at this time are going to be deciding which brokerage is for them. As you interview, make sure you know what you're looking for. And of course, this is very, very hard at this stage because you don't know what's out there. You don't know what you should be looking for. Even if you think you know what you're looking for, you may realize later on that you are actually looking for something else and you didn't know that, and that's okay. Everyone was there. I was there right there with you. So I'll just tell a quick story as to how I chose the brokerage that I did. I did a ton of research. Girl, I interviewed 13 different brokerages. 13! I asked the questions. I asked, what are your splits? What's your cap? When can I make 100% commission? How many, I asked it all. And as I was asking around, I realized when I was interviewing franchise brokerages, the fees ended up being higher. Now, of course, I can't talk for everyone. Things are going to be different. But a lot of times they were like, oh yeah, you have a desk fee, you have a color printer fee, you have a fax fee. I was like, bro, what is that? I have never seen one in my life. You have like all these fees, right? And I was like, but I don't even want to be in the office. Like I'm leaving the Air Force because I want to work on my own by myself. This is kind of funny actually, because I actually am an introvert, and being a real estate agent, it's very extroverted. Like, do not get into this business if you are shy. It's going to be a long road, but stay tuned to the end of this video for the rest of the do's and don'ts. So these recruiters were like, oh yeah, these are going to be your fees. And we should start now because we teach you, we train you. And at the time, I didn't really feel like I needed a lot of, well, this sounds very pompous. Don't take it this way. I didn't feel like I needed a lot of training because I had already purchased like 7 properties because I was an investor first. So I was like, I know what the steps are. Of course, I just don't know it from the agent's point of view. So as far as the process of purchasing, I got that down. What I needed help was, how do I find clients? Which is most likely your question as well. Now that you have your license, how do you get yourself in front of people and say, hey, I should be your go-to agent? And how do you say that with confidence to where people don't think, yeah, but Larry, dude, you just got your license. Why should I trust you? That's what I was looking to do. Like, how do I get as confident as fast as I can, as cheap as possible? So that was the question that I was looking to solve. How can I learn as fast as I can? How can I get all of the checklists without having to recreate the wheel, take everyone else's lessons learned so I don't have to make those mistakes? And is it possible for me to get all those lessons learned and surround myself around other people for free? As I was interviewing, everyone was like, oh yeah, this will be a price, this will be a price, this is a price. So then I found this group that was like, yeah, you get access to everyone. Everyone in your upline is a millionaire with real estate, as being a real estate agent. They all invest in properties. They're all young. They're all still in the business. And they'll give you all of their checklists, all of their scripts, their processes, the resources for free, their calculators, everything for free. And I was like, this is it. This is the golden goose. So I was like, you know what? Can I join? And I was in Arizona. This person was in North Carolina. And I was like, I don't give a shit if you're that far away. I just want your checklist. I know I have it within me to be able to take a checklist and just apply it to Arizona. I will ask questions. If I have questions, I will ask. So if that is you, if you know that you will do whatever it takes in order to make this business succeed, you are my people, and I want you to work with me at EXP. If you need more hand-holding, that is completely fine. I have something for you which I think would benefit you a lot. I'm giving you my checklist, at a cost. Those that join me at Exp Realty, that name me as a sponsor, they get everything for free. But if you found a local team, maybe a smaller brokerage where you're okay with going in the office, or even if you're working from home, if you've just found a different team or brokerage that you want to be a part of, I have a special invitation for you, and it's on my school. I have 6 checklists for you. The first one is exactly what to do in your first 90 days of being a real estate agent. The second is the complete buyer agent checklist. Once you have a buyer, what do you do? It solves that process of like the step-by-step that I already knew. So I put it together. It's so long, it's so detailed. This is the best way for you to feel organized as fast as you can, because once you can build a good foundation, that's when you can take on the most amount of clients that you can handle. If you take that coupled with the local guidance from whatever group or brokerage or team you end up joining, you're going to crush. Not all brokerages have a checklist for you, which is so mind-boggling to me. It's like a bare minimum. In my opinion, how can you start a brokerage and not give people the things that they need in order to have the good foundation so they can get more and more and more clients? I mean, what? Anyway, I'm giving it to you. Now I want to cover some more misconceptions about real estate, because boy, are there a lot. The first one I already mentioned, which is people think that if they become a real estate agent, then they're gonna spend all their time just looking at pretty homes and viewing expensive properties and being all like the feel good of like, oh, imagine yourself in this beautiful kitchen. And that's not the reality. It could be only if you signed up to be a showing agent for someone else who is doing majority of the work and getting majority of the pay. So it's a good way to start out, there's an app called Show-A-Me that you can sign up for, and you can include your bank accounts, and that way anybody else that is looking for a showing agent that maybe is too busy to go show the property themselves, they will hire a showing assistant to show their clients a property, or 2 or 3 or whatever. So that's the only way that I can see an agent spending majority of their time viewing pretty houses. The reality of being a real estate agent is not that. It's not that at all. People are buying and selling real estate when they're getting divorced, when they're having a baby, when they have a job relocation that they didn't want, when the military is making them move. It's not all highs and fun times. Even though you are now a licensed agent, you are now an unlicensed therapist, you are now an unlicensed diary. You may even turn into a painter for a little bit. I had to paint somebody's attic at some point. You're going to be doing a lot of different things that you didn't realize that you would be doing in order to close on a property. Another misconception, and take this with a grain of salt because I'm going to sound hypocritical when I say this. A misconception is that you can do this as a part-time agent and be successful. I started as a part-time agent and I closed 20 deals, actually over 20 deals, 24 deals my first year when I was still a part-time agent, but that is a very, very small fraction of people that are able to do that. I had a more of an advantage because I worked with a lot of military, at the same time, I also had a disadvantage because Tucson was not my local area. Like I had still used my GPS to get around. I made another video on this channel that got more traction than usual. I don't want to say viral, but it got more traction, and it's literally called How to Make $100,000 as a Part-Time Agent, because that's what I did. I made $120,000 my first year as a part-time agent, but it set the wrong expectation. And I am sorry for having put that video out. I'm even considering sometimes making it private or even taking it down because I shared my story, I shared what I did, and I feel like it gave other people the wrong idea that they can just be a part-time agent and leads are gonna flock to them. The number one reason why real estate agents fail is because they don't have enough leads and they don't have enough money saved up in their bank account in order to take them over for the next couple of months where they won't have any closings before they actually start closing. 87% of real estate agents fail within their first 2 years. 87. So you have to be 100% committed. With naming me as a sponsor at Exp, you will get one-on-one access to me. That's the only way to get access to me right now without paying a lot with the black belt bundle. But you're not there yet. You're at the white belt bundle. I'm gonna take this one step at a time. You do the white belt bundle, you make $100,000 your first year, then you can graduate to the black belt bundle. But I have to say, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort, a lot of grit, a lot of determination, a lot of hours. If you're leaving your W-2 to become a full-time real estate agent, I thought that I could work the same amount of hours. I'm working more hours than I did during my Afghanistan deployment in 2016, where I was working 14 hours a day. Like, I'm working the equivalent to that. Except this time, I'm not looking for terrorists, the Taliban, I am looking for clients. Oh man, okay, slightly different, but like way easier to do now, and doesn't matter. Everyone has different skills that they bring to this game, which is great. And I want you to think about, what skills do you have? What sets me apart from other people? Am I funnier? Am I prettier? Literally, yes, we are in the business of what you see, we see the same things. HGTV, everyone's looking cute, high heels, dress, drama, and like, that's just what they just point real estate agents to be like bimbos. But I don't know. It's been proven that prettier people do get higher tips, that blondes get higher tips than brunettes, and it's studied. But either way, I went on a huge tangent there. Are you really good at analyzing properties? Are you an investor? As you start thinking about what you bring to the table, what makes you different, that is gonna go hand in hand with who you can serve. And not just who you can serve, but who you want to serve. And that was one of my biggest lessons when I first became a real estate agent. I, as a prior investor, thought that I would want to work with investors, and boy, was I wrong. Oh my goodness. I was working with these new investors that just like wouldn't pull the trigger. They told me their buy box, I want this, that, I'm good, and blah, blah. And then we'd show them 3-4 properties that met all their criteria. Well, this meets the criteria, but I'm too scared. I don't want you to go through that. Take my lessons learned so that way you can save time and make money faster than when I made money. That is my goal for you. Now, what different types of clients can you help? Let's name a few. Luxury, of course. Commercial is one. I don't work commercial, so if you want to work commercial, I would not be your person. I'd be doing you a disservice. Investors, like I mentioned. First-time home buyers, very popular. Now, it's not a saturated market, but everyone likes working with first-time, well, A lot of people like working with first-time home buyers. Sellers, but not just people that are selling. Are they selling because they are now going to a retirement home, like 55 plus community sellers? Are they first time sellers where they also need your help in purchasing their second property? Are they military sellers that need to sell kind of fast because they just recently got orders 4 months ago? That's not that fast, but you get what I'm saying. Are they sellers because of divorce? Are they sellers because of a certain job? There are so many different niches or niches. I like niche. There's so many different niches that you can get into, and I want you to pick one. This is going to be hard, but it's proven time and time again that if you can be the one that stands out and they think, oh, Mike is the lot guy, he does lots in Tucson, Arizona, they're going to remember you, as opposed to you being lumped in a big bunch of other real estate agents. Oh, Mike, yeah, he's a real estate agent. So he's like one of every other. In case you haven't heard of Alex Hormozy, he talks about this a lot. He talks about how can you make yourself so different that you are no longer in the same category as everyone else. He talks about this in terms of pricing and like trying to be a monopoly, because once you're a monopoly, then you can own the government. His words, not mine. I disagree. But that also applies to branding. And that is what real estate is all about. Setting yourself apart and putting out as much information as you can, letting everyone know that you are real estate. And when people think of you, they think of Larry, the agent, Allie, the agent. Put it everywhere. Another lesson learned from me to you is I would not start a business account on social media, because we're going into a new generation or new like a thought culture where people no longer want to follow businesses. They want to see the business's personality. That's why a lot of these big corporations are hiring Gen Z to take over their social media, because they're responding back, they're collaborating, they have like a culture, they kind of show what the business is about in a funny way. So gone are the days of a stiff photo of you going like this and like that and people want to see your personality. So I would recommend against starting a business account. People want to see you. Can I trust this person? Plus, there's nothing that is going to make someone click away faster than going to your business account and seeing 12 posts and 2 likes. They're like, oh, is this person even still in business? I guess not. So don't do that. Along the topic of social media, there are so many ways for you to get business. And this is completely my opinion, is I think if you do not have social media, you are going to struggle. You're gonna struggle. There were a couple of agents my age that, just are against social media or like just don't want it. And they're struggling. They're struggling right now. Why pay for leads for Zillow, or why pay for a billboard? You're doing the same effect of what you can do for free with a little bit of your time on social media. It's a free advertising platform. I cannot believe that social media platforms don't charge us yet, but definitely take advantage of social media. And when I mean social media, what should you post in order to get clients? Tell a story, show your personality, show how much negotiation skills you have because you help this person purchase, $12,000 under ask or $12,000 under appraisal price. Whatever it is, people want to know what you did for them. So now it's, how often do you post? As often as you freaking can. For how long, Allie? For as long as it takes for you to make the money that you feel comfortable making. If this overwhelms you, that's not my intent. My intent is to show you the truth. I've been an agent for almost 4 years now. I've made over $100,000 every year. So my first year I made 120-ish. And then my second year and my third year, I did over 200. And this year I should be making around 350. My first year of doing this full time, I earned one of the top awards within Exp Realty, which is a brokerage of 85,000 agents. I made the top 1.5%. That's my little plaque here. And even though EXP is an 80-20 split, I ended up pretty much not paying anything because you can get all of your entire cap back to you in the form of stock when you do a certain amount of production. Another myth that I want to bust is that you're going to be making money the same month that you get licensed. That's not the case. A typical transaction will be around 30 to 90 days. So by the time a client comes in, if they're actually looking to get pre-approved, then you will take some time making sure that you are a good fit for them and they are a good fit for you. And then you're gonna send them to a lender or a couple lenders, get them pre-approved. Then you're going to start viewing homes with them. Yay, the fun part. And then you go under contract for as long as, needed for the inspection period, appraisal period, closing. So all that could be 90 days. It could be more. It could be significantly more. So with all that said, should you join a brokerage that gives you leads? It depends. Do you want to pay whatever they're asking for the split? Do you get anything else with that brokerage or that team as far as the support? Have you done the math to see if I close 10 homes, this is how much I'll make, but if I close 30 homes, this is how much I'll make? There may be a difference there. Because like I said with EXP, once you cap and then you close around another 20 homes, you can get up to your entire cap back to you in the form of stock. Like, that's a no-brainer. The tagline for EXP is where the pros go to grow. And I do think that checks. Now I want to talk about cost. The cost for schooling, as you know, if you already took the course, it may cost $400, it may cost $1,400. It varies per state. Once you pay for the schooling, you pay for the test is about $100 a test. Pay until you pass, hopefully pass on the first time. And then you join a brokerage. This is where a lot of franchises can make up their own rules, teams can make up their own rules. I do not want you to get stuck into a team where if you decide to leave, you have to pay upon your exit. This is where they get you. I have seen this before where a person didn't feel comfortable. They joined a team. They didn't feel comfortable with the team, which they wouldn't have known beforehand. Well, maybe they would have if they did some more interviews. Anyway, regardless, they wanted to leave the team, right? They're like, hey, I'm not happy. I'm not really closing too much. I'm not getting the attention that I thought that I was going to get, which is a lot of times. It's very, very common. So they leave. But upon exit, I've seen this time and time again where the team leader then says, okay, well, per the ICA or the independent contractor agreement that you and I signed, you signed saying that if you left before making me X amount of dollars or before you closing, 4 homes, that you have to pay $2,000, $3,000, whatever it is. It's very common. So as you're interviewing around, make sure that you know what the exit fees are. If I leave, do I have to pay anything on the way out? You shouldn't have to. That's my opinion. With us, you definitely don't. Why would we want to keep you? Why should we force you to work with us? It's so against our culture. Our culture, my culture in my community at EXP is you work fucking hard because I work fucking hard. I am financially incentivized to see your business succeed because when you close, I make a very small cut, but it's significant enough for me to be incentivized to see your business succeed. So I'm going to give you all of my resources so that way we can continue to elevate together. That's the type of culture that we have, but we have a very we curse, we wear backwards hats. A lot of us are prior military. We can just take a checklist and run with it. We do not need hand holding. On a serious note though, the biggest question that new agents have is, will I fail? And it's a valid question because you're starting a brand new journey. And if you're leaving from a W-2 going to your first time being a 1099, it's worrisome sometimes. You're like, oh my God, where is my next check gonna come from? And you're gonna feel like that for a while until you have a good system. So the biggest thing that's going to help you in this business, 2 things. One is the culture of people around you. You need to be surrounded by other people. And by surrounded, I don't mean physically. I don't mean go into an office and shoot the shit and say, hey, where are we going for lunch? I'm saying digitally. Surround yourself around other people that are still doing it, that are doing better than you are, and that want to give back. That trifecta will help you make as much money as you want to make. That's the reason that I joined the crew that I did, because they're all making over $300,000, easy just in the real estate sales, not even revenue share, not even their own rental income. They're multimillionaires and they're my age. So I was like, dude, I want to be like you. So that's why I joined them. The culture is so important. The second thing of what's going to help you continue during the days that are going to be long and hard, when you have clients that are asking you to do this and that, and you're bending over backward and you're like, why did I leave my W-2? What's going to help you is your why. And this sounds so corny. People say it over and over again, but I want to share what my why was and still is. My why was I was so unhappy in the military. I didn't know where I wanted to run toward. I just knew that I wanted to run away from the Air Force. I was depressed. I had anxiety. and I had a few toxic leaders. And after that, I was like, you know what? I cannot see myself doing another 10 years just to finally get the retirement, when the amount of the retirement that I was waiting to get for another, sticking around for another 10 years was just not worth it. I didn't want to have to do another 3 years deployed, because as a major, I had to deploy for a year at a time once you take command. I didn't want that. I was like, you know what? Life is too short. I would rather deploy when I'm freaking 80, not when I'm 30. And I had this one officer that told me that I would never make colonel. And after that, I was like, then why am I trying so hard? When I'm busting my ass, doing so much work, working so many hours. Meanwhile, the favorite that is being groomed can work so little, yet their performance report looks equal or higher than mine. Why am I working so hard? The government totally just doesn't incentivize people to work hard. That's a different story. But after I was told that I would never make colonel, I made it my life's mission to make 3 times as much as that colonel would ever make. And I definitely have. So year 1 is when I matched how much a colonel was making. Year 2, I blew past that. Year 3, I blew past that. In year 4, I am now on track to make 4 times as much as them. And that is still my why. Even after having, left the Air Force 2.5 years ago-ish, it's still my why. I still have that, anger. And I'm not saying find your anger. If it is anger, then definitely use that for a positive. But if it's peace, if it's like, hey, I just want to live life on my terms. If I want to wake up when I want to wake up, if I want to eat lunch or go on a run at a random 11 a.m. on a Thursday, live your life the way you want to. Maybe you're not in this to make a lot of money. Maybe you're in this to make up more time and spend more time with your family. I will say it's one or the other with real estate though, in my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt. But use your why to motivate you on your hard days, because you are going to have some. And if you're in our community, we pull you out of it. We have a lot of WhatsApp chats for seller agents, buyer agents, investors, random, the bullshit chat. We have a lot. So whenever you have any bad feelings, throw it in the group chat. We have 200 agents that are ready to help you. So I hope that this helped answer a bunch of your new agent questions. I don't usually make videos as much anymore for new agents. So if you want to join us, if you know that you are 10 out of 10 committed, I ask for your 10 out of 10 commitment, not 9. I need 10. Otherwise, I'm trying to say this as gently as I can. Otherwise, go to my school, because I have resources for you there. It's okay if you just want to use the program for my school. It's a one-time cost. It's not recurring. I don't do recurring. You get everything of what you need for free at once, and then you can join whatever brokerage you want. Either option you choose, let me know. I'm more than happy to help you if you have any questions. So I'll see you if you join our community, or I'll see you in my school group.